Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, I'm Shyama Sakhi Devidasi and welcome once again to Hare Krishna Culture. As usual, we'll be starting off with our vintage clips of Srila Prabhupada. Today we join him as he arrives at the Philadelphia airport. It is said in our ancient scriptures that a bona fide guru is a direct representative of God, just like an ambassador of a country is a direct representative of the Prime Minister or the President of that country. So the guru is a direct representative of Krishna. In today's clip we hear of how the airport authorities were quite overwhelmed with the reception that Srila Prabhupada received from the devotees. Philadelphia airport had received many different and important dignitaries, but nothing like this. The devotees had well understood this statement of the scriptures and were executing it perfectly.
I was fortunate to film Srila Prabhupada at the airport arrival in Philadelphia, and I remember how thrilling that was, because when he would walk through the airport and everybody chanting and dancing in ecstasy, it was an experience that's hard to describe how satisfying it is to be in his association in public with so many devotees. I remember the officials from Philadelphia who were nervously dealing with this arrival of this VIP, but they have greeted many VIPs at the Philadelphia airport in their day, but they never greeted a VIP who had such an entourage and with such sound. All the senses were engaged. It looked so great, it sounded great, it smelled great with the garlands. And this police official who was there, who was a high-up official, was a little bewildered at first, but he was steady in his own way because he didn't lose his cool. And as I recall later on, he was very proud of the festival because he got swept up in the transcendental ecstasy of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement.
All the devotees rushed to the arrival gate to meet Srila Prabhupada. And Ambojaksha, who had never seen Srila Prabhupada, turned to me and said, "What should I do? Where should I go? Tell me what to do." He actually said that to me. "Tell me what I should do." And I said, "Ambojaksha, just go stand by the asana that's been set up for Srila Prabhupada, because you know he's coming there. And you can position yourself right next to Srila Prabhupada." So we agreed, and we both went there. So as Srila Prabhupada came and sat down, a devotee lady approached Ambojaksha with this huge plate of fresh cut fruit for Srila Prabhupada and gave it to Ambojaksha. So Ambojaksha offers the plate to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada takes one fruit, pops it into his mouth, and then does the Bengali drinking style with the water. And for Ambojaksha, it was just perfect.
This is the first time Prabhupada had been to Philadelphia when there was a temple there. Before, he stopped off at Butler. On the way back from Butler to New York, he stopped off at the University of Pennsylvania, October of '65. Then he came to Temple University once, spoke in Swami Nikalananda's course, made some devotees too from another program. Prabhupada also met with scholars while he was in Philadelphia. Tom Hopkins, who he was really quite favorable to. And this professor from the Temple University, my religion department, Babhuti Yadav, and Prabhupada raked over the coals. It was so heavy with him. Prabhupada said to him, what do you teach? He said, Hinduism. Prabhupada said, and what is that Hinduism? And Professor Yadav made the mistake of saying, I don't know. You tell me, what is that Hinduism? Prabhupada said, oh, you're teaching. You do not know? He said, this is our Swarab Damodar. He's also a PhD. Let us ask his opinion. He says he's teaching, but he says he does not know. What is your judgment? On cue, Swarab Damodar says, cheater, Srila Prabhupada, that is called cheater. This is how it starts. Prabhupada says, so he's called you a cheater. It got heavier and heavier. Finally, Yadav admitted he was a cheater. He said to Prabhupada, yes, I'm a cheater, but I'm an honest cheater. Prabhupada did give him a break. He said, you say you are honest, but the judgment of a cheater cannot be accepted. So he was demanding that Prabhupada tell him what Hinduism is. And Prabhupada said, first you become shaven-headed like these. Then I will teach you. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Vibhuti Yadav says, I did when I came in, I offered my pranams. You know, he folded his hands together. And Prabhupada said, then my first instruction to you is stop this cheating business. Oh, and the GBC and everybody were just shooting daggers at me, because Prabhupada was quite visibly angry. And I didn't know what to do. I had brought him and everything. And there were some graduate students there, or friends of mine, who couldn't believe it, what Prabhupada was doing to him. Another point, Prabhupada had quoted the verse, Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Just surrender to me. What is the meaning of surrender? Yadav said. Prabhupada turns to his secretary, hand me a dictionary. And Yadav bristled. He says, no, he says, I want the Sanskrit etymological meaning of Sharanam Braja. Prabhupada leaned back to look at him and said, we cannot waste our time. He said, you don't want a guru, you want a Sanskrit teacher. So finally Yadav left. And the GBC were gathering around Prabhupada, showing him favorable newspaper articles about Gita Nagari and trying to calm him down. I felt so horrible. But the next morning, I was driving Prabhupada for his morning walk. I'd stayed up all night long thinking of an apology. And he got in the car. He started driving and said, Srila Prabhupada, I'm very sorry. I brought that professor to see you. I didn't know he was such a demon. And Prabhupada looked at me. He said, oh, he said, no, it's all right. He said, at least he was chastised. You can see me there, I'm looking quite concerned because the car's not there. There's the airport manager on the left. Prabhupada's there, but I am not blissful because the limousine is not there. The famous Cadillac limousine. As the reporter asked them later, they say you're very humble, but I see that the devotees brought you from the airport in a Cadillac limousine. You're so humble. Why did you drive a Cadillac limousine? Prabhupada said, the spiritual master to be worshipped on an equal level with God, who rides a golden car. So this Cadillac, he said, was not enough.
When we left the airport lobby and came out to the street, there was a pause, I remember, waiting for the vehicles to come. And Prabhupada just stood there on the sidewalk, and he had such nobility. Prabhupada was the most noble person one would ever possibly meet in their life. And to see him standing there just waiting for the cars with all this activity going on around him, and he was just such a steady, calm presence for all his disciples and everyone who approached him.
Everyone was on the porch waiting for Srila Prabhupada to come back from his morning ride. And we were lined up. I was standing up on a buttress a few feet higher. I was able to see everything pretty clearly. Throwing flowers and very ceremonious. Srila Prabhupada came out of the car and he was going in to give a talk. And just at that time, this little girl came running out from the crowd.